Well, it's that time of year again, ladies and gentlemen. Train Sim World 6 has been officially announced. Not that we needed it, of course. Um, I, for those who don't know me, I'm Maverick. I'm not a Dovetail ambassador, and so I'm not as biased as the people who get all of this stuff for free. So, TSW6 is available to pre-order on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and Epic, and for PlayStation, Xbox One, and PS4, you can pre-order them. So Steam 10%, you get a 10% loyalty discount, except on PlayStation, and you only get that discount if you have PlayStation Plus. So, let's talk about the base routes. The British base route is Exeter St David's to Plymouth with the Paignton branch, with the GWR Class 802 bimode, IET, and the GWR Class 150. This is actually pretty decent, I'll say that much. We don't get a GWR Class 800 or an HST. We might get like an HST layer for Great Western Express, but this is the first Great Western Railway branded route since Great Western Express that came out in 2017. Or was it 2018? I can't remember. So yeah, this route actually looks pretty decent. Mind you, that comes with a few caveats. This is just out of Dovetail's pre-release material, and we haven't got, even just the ambassadors have gotten the opportunity to experience this. So Class 802 and the Class 150 stroke 2. So, yeah, coming with the Class 802, looks, it's a slightly adapted model to the one that we got, to the Class 801 that we got with the ECML Peterborough to Doncaster route 2 years ago, and the Class 150 is a modified version of the one that we got with the West Cornwall local route all the way back in, a while ago, 2021, 2022, something like that. If you get the deluxe edition, yes, Dovetail heard our pleas, and we're getting a cross-country Class 220 Voyager. This is pretty cool. Like, we've needed a Voyager in TSW for a while. Other than that, that's pretty much all we know about it for now. The American route is the Morristown line, New York to Hoboken and Dover. So it's a linear 40-mile stretch of track between New York Penn Station and Dover, which should give us the opportunity to see all the rolling stock layer in from the Long Island Railroad version 2 and New York to Trenton. Again, I'm actually, really cool, and also the much requested Arrow 3 electric multiple unit is finally here, and we also get the ALP 46 recycled out of New York to Trenton, but it first appeared all the way back in the ancient NEC New York to New Haven route, I want to say in 2020, which was a route for the original Train Sim World, but it never got ported over to TSW2 and beyond. Pretty interesting. I'll give it that. The Arrow 3 being much requested. And then if you get Deluxe Edition, I know, rolling stock, this is my first complaint I have at TSW6. Rolling stock being layered with the Deluxe Edition for being only available with the Deluxe Edition for no apparent reason. We had this trouble with TSW5, TSW5 with the Pendolino, and TSW4 with the Railpool, Vectron, and Flying Scotsman. So yeah, if we get the New Jersey Transit ALP 450 DP, which 445 DP, my bad, which will be for the New York to Hoboken and Dover route. It's dual mode, and this is pretty interesting. Like, despite the fact it's bundled with Deluxe Edition, we have needed the ALP 45 for a good bit now in TSW. Next up, probably the worst route of the trio, and I'll explain why in a minute. Bahnstrecke Leipzig to Dresden. And on paper you'll be like, oh wow, we finally get the route all the way to Leipzig, and we can finally hook up with rapid transit, and we can finally do the full RE50 service. No. Because the people who bought Nahverke Dresden, like yours truly, we don't know what's going to happen to Nahverke Dresden. Presumably that will remain as a standalone add-on, but we don't know what's going to happen to it. Will people who have Nahverke Dresden get the upgrade to Bahnstrecke Leipzig to Dresden for free? We don't know. They haven't said, which is really, really annoying. Like, until the official roadmap article comes out later this week, we just don't know what's going to happen to Nahverke Dresden. So, yeah. And then another example of a train being bundled with the Deluxe Edition, but it shouldn't. It's the DBBR 294. I don't really know about this. The BR294 looks pretty decent. That's about all we know about it. So we do have some screenshots. Riviera line with the Class 802. It actually looks as though it has some pretty decent scenery. Here's the 220 Voyager. The Morristown line looks pretty decent. ALP 45D running on diesel power. Leipzig to Dresden. And the BR294. One thing about Leipzig to Dresden, on the original rapid transit route, which was the original German route for TSW, we never got a rendition of Leipzig Hauptbahnhof. Now, all those years later, we finally get a rendition of Leipzig Hauptbahnhof for TSW. Which is pretty neat. But, yeah, and then here's the BR294. It looks as though, sadly, we'll have all the same wagons that normal German wagons we usually do. Core features. Summary. Announcements. Why are you saying announcements is a core feature? Because we've had announcements with routes for years now. We've had announcements with a lot of third-party stuff, like Bernina Line, Fife Circle, ScotRail Express. Rivet Games have actually been doing quite a bit of announcements on their routes, and yet you say announcements are a core feature. That's misleading advertising right there, ladies and gentlemen. Misleading advertising. Since we already have announcements with quite a few routes. Random events and train fault. That's what I'm looking forward to. Because, yeah, and they even cite the survey of players. That's good. Random events and train faults, which is very good. We have already had random train faults with the expert level DBBR 101 by Trains in Germany and the Intercity Sturwagen cab car, but having random events and train faults coming to the base game is actually pretty good. I know it won't be backported to other routes because Dovetail just does that. They don't backport features onto older routes unless they're doing like a comprehensive route overhaul, say the Cathcart Circle remaster. But yeah, that's still very good. I do like that. These new features will come alongside Trains and World's existing array of features like Free Roam, Conductor Mode, Photo Mode, Route Hopping, Creators Club, Livery Designer, Formation Designer, Scenario Planner, and more. TSW, I have one thing to say to you. Fix Conductor Mode. Please. Because that thing is absolutely buggy as crap. I'm not kidding. Like, The reason I would play conductor mode more if it wasn't the buggiest piece of software ever put in a train simulator. So yeah, standard edition is £45, $50. So you get the trading center plus the Morristown line, Leipzig to Dresden, Nahverker Dresden compatible content. Wait a minute. And the Riviera line. Does that mean that... Oh! So... What? So it looks as though the people who get standard edition will get Nahverker Dresden and Leipzig to Dresden. What? That's so weird. Why? Why are these two bundled together when this is an extension of this? That's so weird. So yeah, these are all the things that you get with standard edition. Deluxe edition, I imagine most people will be pre-ordering deluxe edition simply because it includes everything. You get all the stuff in standard edition plus all of that, and it costs £65 or $80. Holy crap, that is expensive. And then special edition, holy ripoff. This is just a blatant cash grab. Special edition every year. Special edition is just a blatant cash grab. £105, $120. Holy moly. And then you don't get even anything new with special edition. You get Boston to Worcester, Pfalzische Ludwigsbahn, Cardiff City Network, Semmeringbahn, Zwolle to Groningen with special edition, despite the fact that none of these are anything new. And then, of course, we have the free starter pack, which is the one that I will be picking up because I don't want any of the base routes, despite them looking pretty decent, mind you. I might get like the base routes like later when they got an insane discount toward the end of the TSW6 era before they announced TSW7, because I guarantee TSW7 is going to be a thing. The free starter pack it gives players a chance to update, but you don't get the 5-day early access like you do with Deluxe and Special, so yeah. The Trading Center has unbranded versions of the Class 66, the BR-146, the Stanier 8F, and a new addition to the Trading Center, the SD40-2, which is probably the Trade Sim World locomotive which has been recycled the most. It has appeared on a lot of routes. Bringing across your compatible content so you can update to TSW6 and bring across all of your stuff, but unfortunately stuff like mods will have to be updated, which is incredibly annoying. And very good. Caltrain licensed content was removed from TSW back in February. They're bringing back the content as new and branded releases, with existing owners being granted entitlements, which is very good, because I thought I would have to keep TSW5 installed to keep playing Peninsula Corridor, the MP36PH Baby Bullet, and the MP15DC, which is which is great. Like this is when the Caltrain stuff is removed. This was something that was really requested by the player base, and I'm glad to see Dovetail are actually delivering. Upcoming TSW6 add-ons, revealing the names of 6 route add-ons. First up, Liberec Stara Tapaka from Vector Simulations, which is going to be the first route in the Czech Republic. Yes, we are getting a Czech route in TSW, which is something I never thought I would hear myself say. Then, next up, West Coast Main Line Birmingham to Crewe from All Aboard Studios. Tadami Line from Union Workshop, which we already knew about, which was announced all the way back in TSW4. That's the route I'm most looking forward to, because it's the first Japanese route for ever for TSW. Stuttgart to Heilbronn from Dovetail Games. Another Dovetail German route, but we finally get a route going out of Stuttgart, which is something that I've wanted to see for a while. Another New York route, NEC New York to Stamford from Dovetail Games. the next expert level locomotive, the DBBR 145 from Trains in Germany, which is not something we've had in the game before. The DBBR 145 is not something we had in the game before, and I had never even heard of it, and I had to look it up. It's actually another member of the Bombardier Trax family. Next up, Lisbon to Setúbal from Virtual via 360, which is the first Portuguese route. Which, yeah, Czech route, Portuguese route. Really excited. But the personal one I'm also really looking forward to, West Coast Main Line, Crewe to Preston from Just Trains. Just accidentally doxed myself, so I had to cut that bit of the video out. So the there was something shared on Blue Sky from Dovetail to the effect that All Aboard Studios are working on an Avanti Class 805 add-on for Birmingham to Crewe, which would suggest that Birmingham to Crewe is set in the modern day. And also in that roadmap, Crewe to Preston for Just Trains, it's also set in 1986. It will come with the Class 86 as standard, so I hope we get a bit of a loyalty discount there, because I have Preston to Carlisle and I have the Class 86, so yeah, once Just Trains release this, we'll have Crewe to Preston to Carlisle to Blackpool North and Blackpool South and Ormskirk. So yeah, it all set in 1986. And we'll actually have a decent chunk of the West Coast Main Line once these two are released, because we'll have Euston to Milton Keynes, Birmingham to Crewe, Crewe to Preston, Preston to Carlisle in TSW. There's an official Dovetail Games Discord, which yours truly has already joined. You get direct support, which is good. We don't have to go via the forums anymore. TSW, information and roadmap coming tomorrow. So, tomorrow is the first part of the TSW6 roadmap. More screenshots and details of the core routes, locomotives, and features. And then on August 28th, which is the one that I'm looking forward to, we'll be covering their partner releases with the third parties. So yeah, that is everything we know about TSW6. I was expecting the worst. I'll be brutally honest. I was expecting the worst. I was expecting the three core routes to be absolute piles of junk that no one wanted. And I see now, in 2 out of the 3 cases, it seems as though we've been vindicated. Dovetail's actually listened to the player base and given us stuff we want. Riviera Line, pretty requested. Class 220, really requested. Good American route and the arrows with the Arrow 3, really requested. New Jersey Transit ALP 45, really requested. Bahnstrecke leaps into Dresden, not requested at all. Like, just make this an extension to Nahverkehr Dresden. Why did you have to make it a completely separate route, Dovetail? I'm pretty mad if you couldn't tell. The BR294, I'm not a German player, so I don't know if it was really requested or not. Announcements by default, really requested. Train faults, really requested, as you can tell by this chart. What was not requested, extremely expensive upgrades. What was really requested, recycling the free starter pack again. And yeah, what I'm really excited for are these third-party add-ons, because these are what is going to make the game good or the game bad. Because Dovetail will just continue to crank out the same content at the same quality for years to come, but the third party is where the third-party add-ons are where the action happens. So I'm really looking forward to the Czech route. I'm really looking forward to the Portuguese route. I'm really, really looking forward to the DBBL 145, the expert level one. I was slightly hoping it would be a BL 120, so we could do, but hey, I'll take another expert level locomotive, because those are the highest quality locomotives that you could get in the entire game. And then Crew to Preston in 1986. Yes, please. Like, I was actually, there was some speculation to the effect that the next Just Trains route was going to be the West Highland line in Scotland, but I see now I was actually wrong. And honestly, I'm pretty glad that I was wrong, because the West Highland line would have been pretty boring. Now we get another section of the West Coast Main Line set in 1986, and that's all I ask. Like these routes, all of the third-party stuff, like, yes, please. Like, it all looks like really good, high-quality content. I don't know about the Portuguese or Czech route, since there's third parties that have never made stuff for the game before, but hey, I can't wait. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments. Let me know what edition of TSW6 you're going to get. I'm going to get the free starter pack personally, and I will see you all in the next one. To paraphrase Melbourne Train Guy, I have been Maverick, and I'm proudly not a Dovetail ambassador, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.